Hello and welcome to Viewpoints, Dominion DMS's video podcast series where we highlight our vendor partners. I'm Sharon Kitzman, president of Dominion DMS, and with us today, we are speaking to Mirza Baig. He's the founder and president of PayMaple. Welcome, Mirza.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Thanks for welcoming me on your podcast.
Absolutely. PayMaple, it's an interesting name. Maybe you could give our audience a little bit more of a background on yourself as well as your company.
Absolutely. So let's start with where PayMaple, the name, came from. So my dad in the early 60s had immigrated to Canada from India. Okay. And I was born and raised in Chicago. And, growing up, any child goes to their father and says, hey, I'm going to get $5 for, this or that. And my dad would always yell and say, money doesn't grow on trees, right? So this was a little shot at my father, right? So, it gives the Canadian background, right, that we have. And
right.
Then it's also a tree, right? So that's
nice.
Where the name comes from, yeah. My background is that I've been in payments for 17 years. I started off working for a company called Blue Payment Processing. They ended up being sold to a company called Fiserv First Data back in 2017. And from there, my job was to work with large manufacturing clients, right, to integrate payment systems into their current workflows, right? So they would be using ERPs and such as SAP and Oracle, just like how the DMSs are in the automotive space. That was my expertise, and the way we got started was that I had worked with a dealership group on the East Coast as as a credit card vendor in the past, and they knew what I did and with technology, and they came to me and said, hey, how can we streamline our payments today? We're using a big bank, and we don't feel like we may have the best rates, I guess, but how do we make everything flow, right? So that started off in 2017. So we started in 2017 and built our product out, the payment side of the product, at an actual private dealer group that's about 20 locations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So I love cars, right?
Yeah, excellent. Well, before we jumped on here, you were telling me a little bit about how busy you are right now heading into the holiday weekend. I trust that things are going well for you here in 2023 year to date anyway, for your business.
Absolutely. So we've been, I had a chance to go, being with the payments background in automotive, we had a chance to do NADA. Attend, last year, right, in Dallas, or was that earlier? I don't remember.
It was in January of this year.
January, yeah. And I had a chance to meet with, which is the ETA. It's the lobby. It's basically the equivalent of NADA for payment companies.
Oh, okay.
And over there, the business is doing well to a point because dealerships. What we found is like we're working with Chase Mobility, right, and the market. The margins are being compressed, right? For the banks, for the OEMs, for the dealers, right? The past 2 years have been record, right? Record profits. And now, it's time to tighten the belt. So, so business has been very good, right? So because we streamline their operations, we get intangible savings, right? We're not just a credit card payment company. But at the same time, we're working with our dealerships that we currently work with, and people like you, to figure out how to be proactive, right, when it comes to these type of it's inevitable, right? I mean, we're seeing it, so that's where we're at today.
Okay, all right, great. So you mentioned you're more than just a credit card company. Correct. So maybe you could give our audience a little bit of maybe one of the features or services that you offer that's unique, maybe compared to your competitors.
Absolutely. So we are a SaaS-based software, right, that kind of sits on top of View, right? View or any DMS system, we're integrated with other ones, and it sits outside it's not native, it's not a native application, right? It sits outside. So what it does is it allows the user, the accounting department in this case, to create their financial, their financial accounting reports, right? Based on how they kind of can customize the system.
Okay.
The actual service advisor, so we've got no cashier, right? Typically the service advisor takes payment, right?
Oh,
Just like other places. Service advisor takes the payment, F&I takes payment. Sometimes some dealerships are asking salespeople to do desking, but that's here nor there, right? I'm not gonna say that. So what we provide that's unique compared to like a Bank of America, let's say, right? Is providing credit card processing, providing that interface, right? That's customized and it's able to integrate to different third parties, right? Like what I learned in automotive was that, yeah, you have a DMS system, right? But then you have somebody doing your marketing, you have somebody doing your CRM, you have somebody doing, and they're all like disparate, right? They're all different and they don't talk to each other. So we're a way for third-party applications like your website, or if you're doing mobile payments, to have all the financial reporting within PayMaple.
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're a reconciliation engine, really. The payment side of it is just something that we treat as a commodity. We're a Fifth Third sponsored payment facilitator, which is the same as Square. So imagine, so we have the same license as Square. So we're trying to build out that platform, right? That's obviously Square is simple, right? It's meant for simple merchants, but the same type of concept.
Yeah. So everything else that a dealer could want or need to know about the payment side of the business.
Correct.
Excellent.
Yeah, cash. Yeah, we're working on one of the things for 23 is we're doing real-time deposits, right? A lot of dealers were telling us, hey, we've had some problems where we're taking deposits on vehicles that haven't arrived yet. The consumer gets angry, right? If it doesn't come in the 6 months or whatever it may be. So what it's doing is it's opening them up for chargebacks, right? Where the customer disputes the transaction, right? The dealership paying. And some of these places have non-refundable deposits, right? I mean, some states don't allow it, but the ones that do, they're doing this. Well, how do you combat that? Well, one way to do it is you do it right now. We can do it through ACH, right? When someone sends in a bank payment to you, there's not any recourse, right? It's kind of a done deal, right? If the money's sent to the bank, it's not going to come back. So then now we're doing real-time payments where you can sit in front of the customer, don't have to take a check, almost like Zelle, where we can send the money directly to the bank account and the finance person gets notified that this money has been sent. It's not a wire, right? You don't have to do that kind of stuff. It's working off the we've got a couple beta clients, right? We're just trying to smooth it all, but it's called real-time payments.
Nice. Well, great. It sounds like you're well on your way. So you mentioned it earlier as well. You integrate to a number of different DMS and ERP platforms outside of your automotive business. As a DMS, talking to a vendor partner that integrates to a lot of other DMSs as well. Is there something we could be doing differently or better in order to smooth the process and the workflow for our common client between our two products?
Yeah, I think you guys are doing a good job with how you're kind of positioning yourself, right? The DMSs that we've been working with are, we'll call them the big three, right? Yep. And, they have very DMS-centric, rules, regulations, right? I equate it similar to like banking core platforms, or you're in 12, 10-year contracts, whatever it is. And you have to pay for your information, right? I'm not going to say who, but there's one of them that says, you have to pay X amount of dollars every time you come and try to look at our information to bring it out, even though it's owned by the dealer, right? In your case, you're providing the DMS system, they're providing them access to bolt on other products. You're not stopping anybody from saying, hey, I don't want you to have your data. You know what I'm saying? Like that's unique. And that's why, we wanted to partner up with you guys, is because that's unique.
Yeah.
Like it's not out there in the market today.
Yeah. Good. We have a unique value proposition as well. So, you talked earlier about how the margins are being compressed.
Yep.
this industry that we're in, goes through cycles, but the one thing that is always happening is it's always changing. And I think back over the course of the last couple of years and the amount of change that dealers have gone through, labor shortage, inventory shortage. Now we're dealing with inventories coming back up to close to normal, but now we're dealing with high interest rates, right? So as you and your team sit around your strategy table on a weekly, quarterly basis, whatever you do, what are you thinking about as it relates to a solution or feature within your solution that might help a dealer, through some potential tough times that are ahead of us, or taking more advantage of potential upside?
Yeah, so one of the conversations we've been having is with these large floor planning banks, right? That so our product actually gets resold by other banks under their name, right? So sometimes PayMaple, you can be working with one of our banking affiliates and they're actually selling you PayMaple, right? So working with the banking industry and working with large banks in their mobility divisions, and how it affects like OEMs, right? So I feel like there's going to be an OEMs fighting for money too, right? So what they're trying to do is, especially with the EV push, right, is do contextual payments, right? Where they're having wallets in their connected car, and I'm working through my Ford Fusion, and I'm making payments to the electric charger. I'm making payments to the coffee shop, right? So they're trying to increase their, like you saw the subscription model with BMW, right? I got to put my credit card in on the screen to unlock my heated seat, right? I don't know. They were supposed to stop that in the US, but I heard it's still coming. So there's a battle, right? And then you've got the dealership group where the dealership doesn't really care as much about the OEM per se, because they want the person to go to their group, right? I want you to come to my dealership, right? And a lot of people don't understand that, okay, I could be a Honda make or a used car dealer. I can service basically anything, right? That's what I do. So one of the features that we provide that I think is going to help both dealers combat the OEMs a little bit is the ability to have the same type of technology that someone with billions of dollars is putting out there themselves, right? So we can innovate for a car dealership the same way an OEM is going to pay somebody. Obviously, we're a little bit faster than an OEM innovation, right? When it comes to tech, especially when it comes to payments. But that's where I think we can level the playing field, right? And just making the dealership consortium, right, become stronger than before. Because Tesla and all that, direct manufacturer to consumer, that's you're going to have service centers, right? But you're cutting the dealer out of something that, or you're trying to cut the dealer out of something that that I personally, when buying a vehicle, I want to go to a dealership. I don't want to order a car online. I mean, I guess I'm a late millennial, right? So I am in that age group that would buy something online like that, but I wouldn't.
I buy a lot of things online, but I think a car, a boat, a house are all things are all things that you want to kind of try on, right? In some way, shape, or form. So I would agree. If there was a dealer watching our podcast today and are interested in PayMaple and everything that you have to offer, how would they go about getting in contact with you?
So you can get in contact with just our sales department. It's sales@paymaple.com. That would be the first place to kind of, send an email if you're interested. From there, we can go through demos and products. Just like, we've grown our company. We've doubled our size every year, right? So dealers, have been calling us, right, to see our product. And, very well, when you first start, right, you got to get the product out there. People don't know it's good because no one's using it. Well, now we're to that point where, we have people in all geographical regions using PayMaple, and like I said, sales@paymaple.com, and then you can start there.
Okay. You can also go to dominiondms.com to our partners page. All of our partners like PayMaple are listed alphabetically, and through that link, you can get back to their website and fill out the contact form as well. Well, Mirza, as we close out our session here today, since we are both in the auto industry and it gets in your blood and kind of takes over your life, do you have a car story, maybe something interesting or unique or something nostalgic for you about a car?
Yeah, I wouldn't say nostalgic yet. So I have an R8 that has 1800 horsepower, right?
Okay.
And I'm racing it in August at an airport in Indianapolis. We're
Okay.
going for a 210-mile-an-hour pass in the half mile, which would be the record set at 236 miles an hour. But it's very significant, right? And I love speed, and I've cars, and just like I went on an acrobatic airplane the other day where a pilot took me and we did a straight skydive in an airplane, right? Which was weird. It's the craziest feeling in the world. So I guess I'm an adrenaline junkie.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, and cars to me, I mean, it's my first love. I mean, well, my wife would say the same thing. She said so that's why, I mean, PayMaple started in cars. Like, we do other verticals, right? We do work with other industries, but I specifically love auto, and it's something that, maybe one day I'll own a dealership, right? We'll see.
Well, that's a great aspiration to have. It sounds like you're an adrenaline junkie. What kind of insurance do you have to take out to drive an R8 on a runway at 210 miles an hour?
So it's funny, Haggerty does give insurance for that.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. They do. See, my business insurance, that's a different story.
I've been in an R8 before, not on a runway, just on a road, and it threw me back in my seat with the acceleration that it has available to it. So best of luck to you.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll be speaking again after.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you for your time today, Mirza, and thank you for educating our dealers on what PayMaple has to offer. I'm sure there's a lot of dealers out there who will be reaching out to you directly to inquire in more detail. So thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Sharon.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.